Well, folks, this game's called 8 Minute Empire. It originates from a board game. I picked it up for about £3 off the Nintendo store. I like the look of the reviews, if I'm honest, but if I bought this as a board game, it cost me about £30, so I'd buy it instead electronically for £3. And I can also play against my friends online. There aren't many people online, but you can set things up. You've got to put up a little account, which is a bit of a faff. But if I go in here as a new game, you've got best of 3 sets, because the games don't take very long. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go to a map we're all aware of, so old Europe. We've got good tokens in certain areas, and I'll just show you how this plays. It's me versus 3 other people. Okay, we'll do that. So go and play. So I'm against AI, so you can set your AI up. And what we got here is a little map of Europe. And to start with, you bid on who's going to start first, because you've got 9, in this instance, 9 on the left-hand side there, 9 coins to play the entire game. And there's 8 moves in this game. So every game lasts about the same amount of time. If there's less players, you get more turns. So anyway, Mallory started, and she's the better player in here. And then what you do, effectively, starting from the starting castle in the middle, I think I can zoom in a little bit here to sort of show. You can zoom in and zoom out. The controls are actually pretty good. You can zoom in and zoom out, and what you've got down the bottom is you've got some cards down there, and going from left to right at the very bottom in silver, you'll see that's the amount of coins it costs you to play the card. Now on the left hand side, right beneath the Steve Dog name, you've got these resources. So if I click on A at the moment, I'll click the left hand card, which gets me an anvil, which is like the 3rd worst resource, but it gets me more troops. So if I click on that, because I don't want to spend money at the start of the game, I've now got an anvil in my inventory, and I can now put more troops in there, and that's the end of my go. So now it goes on to the other players, and they're going to be doing their stuff. And what you basically have to do is accumulate troops, and then you can spread the troops out. So you don't battle for territory, but whoever's got the most units, and that is troops or cities in a territory, owns that territory. And then those who own the more territories in a continent own the continent. And then there's also like the odd one here where there's, like, you might be able to see there on the right hand side, there's a conifer tree there. So you can also, by owning different territories, gain further resources to add to the left hand side. And the way it works is on the left hand side there, you'll see that there's red gems, and if you get 1 of those, it gets you 1 victory point. If you get 4 of them, which is shown by the bars to the right, you'll get 6 victory points. So you get victory points based on the number of territories, the number of continents, and also the number of resources you pick up through the game. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move my resources. If I go A there, and I'm going to just move, so you can, in some instances you've got a choice. So I'm just going to head up. Let's have a look. I'm going to head out to the right because I want to get that carrot out the right hand side. In fact, every time you play this, it gives you different resources in different locations. It's really quite nice. But I can't go across the sea because I haven't got a movement card. Now in the top right, it tells me what I've got left to play, which is 3 movements. So I'm going to click on that and go over to here. And I'll click on that and go up to there. And I'm going to click on that and go up to there. So I'm now in that carrot zone up there, okay? Which is kind of fine. And now I will just end my go. Now the rest of the guys then will carry on with their goes, and then what happens is when they pick cards out at the bottom, those cards will slide to the left. So it's a little bit like the mechanics you get in board games such as Spice Road and things like that. Very similar mechanic. So board game players will be really at home with this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to I've got a choice here. Do I go for a carrot or do I go for a conifer? As I've got 1 carrot in my inventory at the top, really a conifer is a better resource because it's the 3rd resource down on the left rather than the bottom one. So maybe I'll go with that, and I've got a choice here. Do I destroy someone's troop or do I build a city? I can build a city at the starting castle area, but that is kind of a bit of a waste of time. It would give me an extra resource there, but instead I'm going to build it up there in that carrot zone with my pal, and that allows me then to further strengthen that. And then what happens is, should I recruit troops later on, I can then spawn those troops in my city rather than in the central zone, and that allows me to basically expand into the map quicker. So I'll just do a couple more goes. We've also got these here. The multicolored gem is a really good gem, so I'm going to get that. I mean, a bit of a bonus me getting that. So I'm recruiting troops. I'm going to put 2 up in the top right. And now what will happen is on the left-hand side, you'll see that against my conifer, I've also got a rainbow gem there. And what that does is the AI, the computer, will put that to where it is. It basically adds a resource wherever you best need it. It works it out for you to further strengthen your hand. So those rainbow gems are really useful, but it can only add, you need a starting resource to be able to do that. So if I can get that red gem in a moment, which is there, I can either get that for 1, or I could go out and get the further one. It would cost me more money. Might as well get that one, recruit troops, and I'm going to put them up there. So now I've got 4 in the top right. I've now got a gem in the top left. So the red gem on the top left of my resource inventory. So that's going to give me quite a good position, really. If I can get more red gems, I can really strengthen that bar at the top and get a lot of victory points. Okay, this is how the game plays out. So I'm going to buy that red gem there, and if you look on the left, as soon as I bought that red gem, all of a sudden I'll be starting to move further out to the side. Now this is move 6 out of 8, so I might as well play the entire game because it's only going to take a couple more minutes. And the other thing as well is there are many maps and there are variants as well. You can toggle on different expansions effectively, which you've got in the game, into the mode you're playing. And you can play online, you can play offline, you can resume play online as well, all that sort of stuff. I need to get some victory points. So on the left hand side now, if I just go up and just sort of shrink some of these in, what you'll see is, there we go, you'll see that I've actually, and let's expand me out. There we go. I've actually got 6 points. That Mallory at the top's got 10 points, but I've only got 2 goes to go, so I've got to start moving my resources around. So I'm going to have to spend some cash really to get them moving. So I'm going to be spending, I think I'm going to be spending that one there, because that'll give me a conifer, which will allow me then, for me, that's the best, and I can move on land or water. So now I've got to start expanding out here because I'm in a toss sort of position. So I'm going to start going from here. Let's start just trying to get some resources out. So I've gone up to 8 points now. Let's go and let's bash Mallory down 1 and do the same again, and that'll bash Mallory down, and that's the end of my goes, because in the top right I've got no card left. So that's the end of that go. The other players are now going to move. They've all now finished go 7. And now Mallory's having her last go. So this is where she's going to have a boost at the very end here. But she's been stupid really. She's recruited troops, which is just absolutely stupid, rather than moving troops. So I'm just going to be moving troops. So I'm going to be... Now that one there allows me a gem and to move troops. And I've still got 3 credits. So that to me is absolutely perfect. So I'm going to move. That's going to boost me up on the reds there to 6 victory points up there. So all of a sudden, I've just shot up massively on the victory points, and now I've also got a couple of I moved in the wrong area then. Let's see if I'm going to do that. No, press the wrong button. Mucked up there. Should move further down. It would have got me another victory point. So a little bit of haste there has cocked me up a little bit. It's lost me a point. And as we go into the next game, as it's a best of 3, there you go. I've got 12, 8, 8. And then you go into the next game, and then it will give you the totals at the end of it. So at the moment, Mallory actually has had a pretty poor score, and considering she's a bot level 2 and the others are bot level 1s, that's a good spot for me. Then we go into the next game. So there you go, folks. That is 8 Minute Empire. You can see I've also got Catan on there, which I don't rate particularly highly. 8 Minute Empire cost me £3 or thereabouts. It's well worth £3. There's quite a bit of variety in there, particularly when you start adding in the mountain options as well. Catch you guys on the 8 minute Schmate Minute flip side. I couldn't have said it better myself.